and he is now the king of the hill. Lance Harris, king of the hill. Tilt Nasty will sit right back down. He will play Scott Boyer, who's had a great tournament.
Run. He had a great run in St. Louis last year. We had the first live mobile event in St. Louis last year, and he had a great run. He got third in that, and he at that point he was playing on the iPad for the first time, and he did it incredibly well. Really, one of those guys that just he's a really good live player. And sometimes you get guys that are really good at, day in, day out play, and you get them in a live event and it's not good. And you got guys like Scott Boyer, the opposite. Like he's a really good live player, and he's an animal. And yeah, maybe I'm saying that because he took me out last round.
To beat you, you have to be a little bit of an animal.
You got to be a killer.
You've got to be a murderer. And Scott is, like you said, it's just when it comes to live play, he just steps his game up. Now, he's very good all the time, but just to come into this room with, again, we've said it, and we're not trying to overstate things, but almost every incredible player in the world was in this room this weekend. We're missing, obviously, Rick Coppathorne, Matthew Calderon, Ben Costain, Travis Bond. We're missing Russ Lyons. There's some we're missing. But as far as the cream of the crop, Barrett Detterman, absolutely. Sam Hines, Jordan.
No, there's incredible players, and eventually there's going to be a tournament where like 90% of all the best guys are there, and that'll be an incredible tournament, and I'm looking forward to it. But there's so many good players at this point. Scott, we talk about the Golden Tee the League. Scott's in silver. He's an incredible player, incredible live player like we just talked about. There's a lot of really good players out there, and in any given day, a lot like Golden Tee Arcade,
it's getting more and more like that. It's like I didn't feel
a
like
year
it was
ago
like
not
that.
like that.
That's right.
Yeah,
I think we have evolved into a case now when, like you just said perfectly, almost on any given day, you can knock off the very best. And Scott Boyer just did that with Tony, and now he gets his reward for beating Tony Johnson is to play Riley Hitchcock, who finished third in Worlds last year. So the road to a championship does not get any easier for Scott Boyer as he faces Riley, but Scott's confidence has to be sky high right now after taking you out.
Totally cold-blooded, like just no nerves for that guy, and even though he's he might not be all that comfortable playing on an iPad on his lap, but really great player, and he's gonna give Riley everything he's got.
Being told that the first time Scott ever played on an iPad was actually in St. Louis for the very first Golden Tee mobile tournament, and he shot one better versus Jordan Scott. So,
and it probably inspired him to buy an iPad. He's like, all right, well, I'm pretty good at this, so I might as well just get an iPad and play tournament. But he's a really great player, and I mean there's a solid group of 30-plus guys that on any given day could beat the other, number 30 could beat number 1.
I do agree with that. I think we have that many now.
Yep.
And I just pulled a trick on Jason Smith. He doesn't know a waitress is bringing me a cocktail, and now he's going to get me one as well. So you got to have.
Well, I didn't know there was cocktails on the way.
You've got to be.
Thanks, Chad.
You've got a beer. You still have half a beer. I know your weekend routine. It's beer.
Yeah,
it's usually Crown early, beer late. Thank you. So,
but yeah, I mean Micah, who was in silver and will be in bronze next season for Golden Tee Mobile or the league, and he won silver in this.
And he beat some gold players on his way.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean Mark, who I think got 4th in gold in the league this year. He beat him along the way. So
he beat Apollo Fury twice. He was in the Worlds.
All right, we got the matches going here. So we got Scott versus Riley here, and
what a hell of a setup for Scott Boyer. He's got his lap buddy puts the iPad on top of it, and he is off and running. Both players
So for
with
me,
the stinger try here.
so
I like
for
the
me,
4-iron here.
Yeah, for me, like I love stinging 1-iron on this hole, but that 2 wind, there's not enough crosswind on that 2 to offset 1 click of worth of 1-iron. So I'd probably play a 2-iron here and play it at like, I don't know, 45%, kind of in that range. But
I don't know what it is.
everyone kind of does it differently.
Yeah, and they do, but Riley's a little bit right there. I don't know what it is about these. Oh, this looks good. That looks great. Oh, it's kicked right on.
You just never know with that bounce on the front. Yeah,
that's why I like hitting That's why I like hitting the 4-iron on that front pin, because you're going to land it right there.
I get it. I don't have that shot. Like I don't have that in my bag, and I'd rather try to get lucky on a rough bounce than try to guess on a stinger with a 3-iron or something.
So no harm, no foul, no damage done on the first hole for anyone. Adult dating site hasn't come up on the chat, and they are really pressing the website.
We got a little sexy chat. XYZ.
Yep.
That was a great shot by Riley over there. Perfect distance control. Just missed his line by a little bit.
We are slowly but surely making our way to the Gold Championship. This match here will determine who goes back to face the great Lance Harris for the Windy City Showdown Championship. They're going to have to beat him twice if they're going to beat him. That's a good shot by Boyer, just a little bit right, but well judged.
This is an interesting one by Riley here. Like, I think he's thinking that 3-iron with a jab is just not quite going to get there. So he's going to dial this back probably to like 90% and let it run out.
That's what I do every time with the 1-iron. Find out what your distance is and then take 10% off of it. And it's just always by the pin when the pin's in the back.
But it's a tough one to judge because it's downhill. In that case, it was downwind. Like you got a lot, and down green, you got a lot of stuff working out. Ultimately, it helps that it's going to get to the pin, so you're going to at least give yourself a chance. But sometimes you're bouncing over the hole on that one.
Now Scott's going with a 7-wood. And that's fine if that's what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, certainly a safer play. He's probably trying to deaden it right by the hole.
It's going to take a bigger bounce than the 1-iron will. And, just past the cup on the left. Burns the left edge of the cup.
Yeah.
Great shot points.
That's definitely a Tony kind of shot. Like dining at the hole, get the GSP. Ultimately, one of the things I'm trying to mix a little bit more into my game is more of that run out, 2-iron, 3-iron. Just give yourself a little bit better of a chance to get that hole out.
Especially when you get into a live tournament where GSP don't really matter as much.
Yep, exactly.
Just to have that in your bag.
Yep.
That's all we need, is you getting good at that too. Here is Booyer with his approach on this par 5 fourth hole. Up and over, land it softly. My buddy Jason Smith just brought the cocktail, and my plan worked perfectly. There are now
Chad Schrump loaded for bear right now.
Double barrel, shotgunned, ready to roll. Here is Booyer. Maniacs. Line looks pretty good. It's going to hop over.
I don't think I ever judged that very well. Like I'm always off by way more than I think that I should be on that hole. Like, because the wind doesn't affect it as much as it goes over the hill, and there's a lot going on there, and I just feel like I never judge it very well.
See, I would putt this. I would Ranger putt this all day long, and I love that Scott just said, "Hey, I've got complete confidence in my short chips."
I was worried there that there was a little bit of in the rough. There were a little bit of left to right kind of kick on that rough bounce. So I probably would have done what Scott did there.
I don't know that I would be confident enough in my short swipe with that chipper in that situation when I feel it. I think in my heart would have said, hey, the putter goes, just don't hit it 100%. You might be okay. I don't know. So many ways to skin a cat in this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
This looks good. This looks good. Just to the right, probably 15,000 points or half of that.
Great math, Chad.
Oh, goodness. Don't get me started on guessing the GSP game because I will do it. And
Get out your dollar bills.
Yes.
Should we start gambling on that?
we can. We've gambled on worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, actually, here, let's talk about that. This is a shot over here on the left with Riley that I never play. I never ever go over here. I go over to the right 100% of the time.
Me too, and hit it over the arch.
Yep. And I don't even go to the top of the hill. I go down the hill a little bit.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
I go to the very top.
I hit a little grabber. No surprise there.
Yep. You know what I've fallen in love with is the orbits. The high loft driver orbits. You hit it 30 or 40. Oh no! Oh my goodness! What a save for Riley.
Save that shot, Riley. Oh, didn't save it. That was some dirty. That's why I never go over there. Like, there's no reason.
There's
just
not.
gets super dirty.
Yeah, I don't even understand why people do that.
Because I'm hitting a 6-iron or a 6-wood or a 5-wood every time, with a grabber or a jab. And
Meanwhile, Scott Boyer just
Meanwhile, Sexy Chat XYZ is still hitting us up hard.
Yeah. Let's go here. This is a big for Riley.
Big putt here on.
Oh, that was a bad swipe.
Yeah,
he pushed it to the right.
I didn't see the swipe.
Yeah, it was to the right.
I wasn't sure that was the right decision, even with a good swipe.
So Scott Boyer is just a few holes.
He's going
away
with a big B3
lead
here. Big B3 on the right. Just like kind of wrap it around and let it run out.
Have to.
Yeah.
Is that enough? That's not enough.
Yeah.
That was never going to be enough to get around.
Total Lance Harris shot there.
Goodness. So he just did Riley a huge favor, and Riley dropped a stroke with that missed putt.
But what's interesting is, again, we don't know. Like with arcade, I know what my opponent is doing, but in this case, like, these guys don't know. Like,
I think Riley knows.
dropped. He's watching the screen right now.
Riley watches every.
But like, you don't. In theory, if you don't know, like, Riley thinks he's down a stroke right now. He's one off. He thinks he's down a stroke.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know that he's up.
Unless he just watched him hit the water. So I don't know if he did or not.
But as someone that was just playing a little bit ago, like, it's tough to know.
Yeah.
Where
you're trying to stay in your own game, right? And much less to look up at this. Hey, what's he doing? What am I doing?
Right.
What is he doing? Yeah. Here we go, par 3. Scott Boyer. This is going to kick to the right. This is going to kick to the right, just a little short. He had it judged perfectly as far as the wind from left to right. Just did not have quite enough to get to the hole. That was a good shot, though. Riley Hitchcock, 1-stroke lead through the 9th hole. Riley was 13 under on the front, Scott 12. Riley is already eagle 10, and Boyer should have no issues here.
I think for me with Boyer's shot here, I'd play it long and I'd rip it back.
I would love to hit it. I would love that shot. Yep.
Yep. I feel like trying to land it short and run it out is just not. You got that cliff right there, and it's gonna maybe clip the cliff. And
I think this 5 could get close. I think you could get this really close.
I think I'd do that same shot with a grabber, actually. Maybe just dial it down a little bit, but.
I think you can hit this full, and it's going to rip all the way to the hole.
I think it's going to rip 15 feet short.
Oh!
Just kidding. Great shot.
We were just testing you.
That's why Scott's playing for third, and I'm playing for not third.
Playing for my affection.
Yep.
And you've got it. I don't even know what that meant. All right.
All right,
Continuing along.
So we got hole 13 over here. Hole 11 that Scott's playing right now is kind of a nothing hole. Try to make it move on.
I don't like this pin. I hate it.
On 11?
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
it's just not much to do with it.
No, Scott doesn't like
That
it
wasn't
either.
boy.
That was a terrible shot. We got tilt over here on the right on a hole that can be a little bit dicey, but he's going to have a tailwind, so he's trying to play it just to the very end of this fairway, and then he'll play either a high loft driver in or a regular driver in.
It's a huge chip. Scott's got a huge chip. He's down one already.
Yeah.
You
no,
cannot give a stroke away
yeah.
on one of the easiest holes.
No. After I just called it a nothing hole. Great job.
Nice. That was perfectly in. There was no left or right there. That was dead center.
Yep.
Awesome chip for Scott. He should never been in that position, but he got himself out. No worries. Already has seen a shot he likes here.
Yeah, he was dialed right in on that.
No real,
Great shot by
no
Riley.
real chance
couldn't
to
have,
make
couldn't
this.
have judged that distance any better from Riley. Little deep, probably a little so be safe on that.
Yeah.
On that approach on the par 3.
I kind of would have liked him to bring that back some. He had a straight wind. You didn't have to really judge any left or right. Just worry about your distance. Give yourself a chance. Not saying you want to rip it back with an orbits, but maybe a grabber to give yourself a chance.
Yep. It'll be interesting. Like I have a pretty set shot on hole 14 here, with a sniper, and looks like they do too. Yep. Riley at least.
I'm going to O-bird every time on this hole. It's either an O-bird sniper medium tee or an O-bird.
On 14?
Yeah. Or a jav.
I low tee driver it every single time.
Yeah, Mike Smith tells me to do that, but I love the O-bird.
It goes.
There's not a situation I don't think it's perfect.
It goes 282 every time on the fly, depending on the wind.
Yep.
But yeah, if it's a crosswind, or obviously adjust depending on the wind, and I feel like that's a shot, and I think that's what Riley just played. It'll be interesting to see what Booyer does here.
So he is going over javelin, and you don't need to low tee it. You can, but it'll be fine. It goes fine through medium tee.
That seems.
You'll just let it bounce a few times. It'll deaden on the fringe.
It feels like so much unknown on that shot.
There is a lot of unknown unless you play it all the time.
Ugh. Great shot, but I hate it. I'd rather just land it on the green. Great shot by Riley there to get GSP.
Riley's starting to heat up a bit.
Yep.
I mean, things are all over the hole right now for him. He was fortunate with a Scott Boyer mistake on hole 8. Scott tried to throw it around the mountain, never had enough turn on it.
Depending on where this pin is, this could be an interesting setup. Yeah, it's over there on the right. He's probably going to hit that out there and probably have a 7-wood in, but it's certainly mess upable because you're going to have a 14 crosswind. He's probably going to jab it down, but yeah, then he's going to have to run it out. So this will be interesting approach on 16. And we got Scott over here probably trying to hole out on 15, yeah.
This will kick right. Not enough, though.
Yeah.
We'll make that for a birdie. Riley Hitchcock, his approach into the par 5. This is one you can really
he wishes he could hit this 9-wood, but it's not going to get there. So he's got to hit the 7-wood. He's going to eventually come to that conclusion, I think. Oh, maybe not.
He's being safe. He knows he has a lead.
I don't like that. That was a little too dicey for me. But Great Eagle made it happen.
Scott Boyer.
Scott with a way longer shot on 16, actually.
Is he going to go with the Maniacs?
Man, that's going to be be spicy when it lands on the green.
It does die some, but that thing is going to take a tremendously huge first hop.
Yeah, you got a big crosswind. You've got the down 7. It's going to be
this is
real
absurd.
spicy. We got Riley over here, knocked it into the middle of the green for an easy little birdie on 17. But let's flip over to Scott here. If he pulls it off, great. But
it's fine. That's not fine. That's going to be a chip.
he's made every chip he's looked at, so we'll probably be all right here. But yeah, that was just there was a lot of spice on that shot.
This is a pretty good look
Yeah,
here.
I love this look on 18. I think this
is the kind of look, if you're down, this is the kind of look you want. You want to.
No, if Scott knew he was down a stroke or two, this is exactly what he would want.
This is what you'd want.
I would not. I think this is not quite enough club. I would probably hit the high left driver, but just landed on.
Oh, he about made it.
Just kidding.
Ooh, goodness! This is going to come down.
This is why I'm in the announcer's booth. And
well, you got to look at it for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have come to that conclusion. That might be a good shot. That is the bad thing when you don't have that right in front of your face. We're just watching on a monitor. It's not the same feel. Good job from Riley Hitchcock.
Right,
he has forced Scott Boyer into needing to make this shot or 18. He needs a hole out. Trails by 1.
This is a makeable setup if you know you have to make it, but like he doesn't know that. So why would he be aggressive on this?
Yeah. Well, you got to think you probably need something after you part 8. All right, so he's going to have to make it.
He might not think he needed to make it.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big break.
Left yourself a little putt you don't really want, playing for the right to get to a championship match. But, man, as he's done the entire day, he just sticks that pressure, wads it up, and just spits on it. Nice job, Booyer.
Well,
proud of Scott.
This has got to go in if he wants to move on.
So he looked at this in about 1 second, put his tee all the way in the back right, and it's stuck there now. He has got a gold tee planted.
I don't think I've ever put my golden tee in the back right.
Me either. That's why I noticed it. That was kind of weird.
But honestly,
the way Riley's shot went, if he'd been in the back, it might have gone. Riley just missed it.
Well, and
a little bit deep.
I think Riley dialed his back just
Did he hit like 98?
Yeah. So the distance on this is pretty good.
This is a must make. Must make.
Well, he's got to hit that full.
There's no way he's hitting at 90. No. There's no way.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the game. That is the ball game. So Lance Harris will face Riley Hitchcock for the Gold Division Chicago Windy City Showdown. What a showing from Scott Boyer. See if he can't plant this on here and get his birdie and get out of the town. A little bit deep. He's going to have a right breaker here. Let's finish off strong. And he does. So great showing from Scott Boyer. 3rd place in the Windy City Showdown. If you were to tell Scott he was going to finish top 3 at the start of this tournament, I think he'd be awfully proud of himself. I know he wanted to win it. He's
definitely,
good enough to win it.
Definitely that would have surprised the Calcutta bidders as well.
He only went for 120.
Yeah, no, that was a big showing. I think they quintupled their money on the Calcutta bid.
They're gonna have to
at some point you gotta just realize that there's some guys that are really good at live play, and Scott is one of those guys.
I imagine our next live event, Scott Boyer is not going for $120.
Accurate.
Please tell me what the fuck I hit off the tee on 7. Because I hit the wrong club. I hit the right percentage. I hit the wrong club off the tee.
So
I don't remember it.
I don't either. Riley just came over, wanted to know what he had actually hit on hole 7. I don't know, bub.